We are live. Welcome back to another episode of Be the Boss of Your Money. It's a high energy day because today we're doing something a little different. I've got a high energy guest. He is a master networker, all around great guy. And once I met him, I literally see this guy's face all over the place. But it's a good face. It's a nice face to see. So I'm just going to do a real quick roll of the intro. And right when that's over, I am bringing in my guest. His name is Adam Holtzer. He is the founder of Connections for Hire. He knows more about networking than anyone I know. He is just a master networker, and I'm going to ask him a whole bunch of questions about what he does, how he does it. We're going to talk about pivoting to this age of pandemic. And I think for a business person especially, you're going to want to see this. So stick around. Let me get to the intro. And then once the intro is over, Adam is going to join us, a.k.a. Mr. High Energy. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to this. This is a live episode of Be the Boss of Your Money, your place to learn about money, investing, business, personal finance, because I want you to be the boss of your money, not your money to be the boss of you. Speaking of money, this guy is money. You see him on the screen. Like me, he's wearing a purple shirt. He's like my younger brother from another mother, you know, and he's just an all-around great, nice guy, and just like everyone likes you. Hey, how are you, Adam?
Mitch, thank you so much for having me here today, man.
Yeah, you know, it's finally we get to do this. Just a real quick story. I met you at a networking event late last fall. Maybe it was right around the holiday season. And I already knew who you are because of social media, especially LinkedIn, which I guess that's the whole point of the social media, is to be a somewhat known entity. But we got to talking, and you're just a really nice guy. You told me a little bit about what you do, and then we followed up with some calls, and I've seen you since. And then we met at another event, the Ruskin Moscow Falta-Check event, if you recall. And ever since then, we've been like, fast friends. So tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do, how you do it, and, all those things that just make you the Adam Holtzer you are.
First off, Mitch, I got to tell you something, man. I'm all about energy, and whoever's watching this right now, I'm going to tell you it's probably going to be a very, high vibe kind of a call. First, want to make note, I'm a fan of innovation, and Mr. Elon Musk, we obviously, know that he has cool innovation. So I have all my cool whips in the background. My new technologies, nice little Fisher Price rides that take my daughter in. Just want to have something cool in the background. I don't have a cool brick wall like you got there, Mitch. But you're welcome. So, your question to me was to tell the world a little bit about me.
Yeah, first, about you. Let's start with something personal. What's your deal? Did you grow up here on Long Island? And
sure,
family, blah. It's a little bit about Adam the man.
Okay, Adam the man. So I'm 33 years old, 33 and a half. Just had my half birthday. We're big on half birthdays here in the Holtzer house. And listen, by the way, December baby, December 28th. I grew up locally on Long Island in Suffolk County in Dix Hills. And I actually, I bought a house about 2 years ago with my wife, about a mile away from where I grew up. Very fortunate that my daughter will go to the same schools that I went to. I'm kind of nostalgic like that.
We live in the same school district then.
Comac.
Okay, I'm in Half Hollow. Close.
Very close. So
okay.
I have the trifecta. I have the Dix Hills address, the Comac schools, and the Huntington Station taxes. So I get a little bit of a break there.
You got it going on.
I was a baseball player growing up, a catcher, loved sports, loved being active. Some of my degrees actually are in health and physical education. I have a bachelor's and master's in health and phys ed, and I also have degrees in business and marketing. Very passionate, lifetime learner. At this ripe age of 33 that I am, I've been extremely fortunate to surround myself with great role models, mentors, people that have taken me under their wings and really helped me soar to where I am today. A little bit more about me. Love ping pong. I'm a backgammon fan. My favorite board game, though, is Monopoly. My wife, Lara, has been, we actually, in August, this month right now, we're celebrating our 7-year anniversary of being together. Married 3.5 years. Thank you. And then lastly, I have my daughter, Molly, these are her cool whips. She's 2.5, just had her half birthday 2 Fridays ago. And my wife is actually 24 weeks pregnant with our second, which is really exciting. The baby's going to be due in November.
I saw the pictures you posted of her pregnant on Facebook, and she is absolutely adorable.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you saying that. I'm a family guy. As long as my girls are happy, I'm happy. And you see that in my energy.
Yeah, I do. So let me ask you a little bit about Connections for Hire, because I've learned a little bit more about it because I've been on your website a couple of times. Mm-hmm. If I butcher this, I'm just going to say enough to get you to tell me what it's about. But you are like the hired business development person that a company could say, we need an external person. So like some companies hire an external treasurer, an external CFO, an external bookkeeper. You're like the external business development networker for a business, kind of.
That's very accurate.
You I read very well.
I will say though, I don't like being called a master networker. I enjoy being called a master connector.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the word networking has really lost its flavor, and can have a bad connotation to it. So, but I do introduce myself as the founder and master connector of Connections for Hire. We are an outsourced business development firm from a fractional standpoint. I created this business model literally a year ago. My 1-year anniversary is going to be September 1st since I launched the company. Had this concept and idea years ago. One of my mentors, his name is Gary Anzalone. He has a very similar business philosophy that I have, and he's actually gone through this path with his business, Razor Consulting. He's New York City focused around operations and facilities. My focus is Long Island based around helping small business owners. All my clients I work with range between about $500,000 to $10 million. And these are business owners that need an outsourced view on their business development. With my background in marketing and
your advertising and digital sales and all that. Okay.
It's all kind of come together. And Mitch, you know this firsthand. You meet with business owners all the time, and to hire a full-time business developer could potentially cost $100,000, $125,000, $150,000. And unfortunately, business development gets misconstrued with sales very often.
Not. There's nothing even remotely close to it. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So you're not the transactional guy. You're like, the relationship guy. The transactional part is up to the businesses that you represent. That's their business. Your business is to help cultivate relationships, connect, make introductions, right? That
you're good, man.
All right.
And then
all right. So let me just finish my whole interview.
This is Mitch. Mitch, take it away.
Okay, so so I'd like to thank you for joining us today. It's going to be a short episode. No, but I want to ask you. So I just have a bunch of questions. You have a process, right, that you take people through, and who's the process for? Is it for like your client, or who is this process for? So what is the process? Who's it for?
Sure. It depends on a couple of different areas. So Connections for Hire focuses in 3 different buckets or segments, whatever you want to call it. First off is when I launched the business, my goal was to help my clients make connections that could foster business opportunities, grow relationships, and really get them in front of strategic alliances, direct opportunities. And as I've developed my business, I've learned that my clients need more than that. And I don't want to just be a connector. I really want to help businesses with their business development. I want to help them grow. And I don't think you're familiar with this about me. It hasn't come up in conversation, but the previous company and agency I was with, I was an outsourced, business developer. I was helping them from the consulting side to grow their business. And very fortunately, they were a digital marketing and advertising agency, which is what my background is in. So I was able to assist in them growing from about a 5-person shop to a 19-person shop in about 2.5 years. And we were very fortunate to grow their revenue by about 200%, in about the first year, and then 400%, in year 2.5. And I said to myself, I'm like, if I could help one company from this perspective, and I had fun doing it, I'm like, why can't I work with 5, 10, 15 other companies that don't have this business development resource, but they're looking and they know that they need it to get out of that rut that they're in, the successfully stuck feeling, like how do we get over it? And I'm a big component, just like yourself, Mitch, relationships before business. You have to enjoy the people you're working with. And why should my clients or anybody have to go through the pain of meeting 100 people to meet 3 people that they actually like and can work with? So my goal is to put my clients in front of those resources.
All right, so, well, when you're out and about, and look, I could tell you're like the quintessential people person, and you go to a lot of events and a lot of parties, and you enjoy that. That's your thing. And we talked about this, and your wife is just super supportive of you, which is just awesome. So you go to these events and you're making connections, but you're making connections not really for yourself. It's in mind with if you're representing somebody who owns a financial services firm, or if you're representing a CPA firm, accounting firm or a law firm, and you have a way of probing for information without coming off like aggressively nosy. How do you? Is it an art, or can you teach that to somebody?
I think it really comes down to listening. When everyone has some type of pain, when you first meet somebody, it's almost like you have 2 options. You can either have a brick wall up that is stopping you from really connecting and getting to know each other, or you can make it comfortable and break that wall down and really build a relationship. Hence, one of my taglines is relationships before business. And I have a diagnosis called problem solver syndrome, and I love to just give me a problem. Even if I don't know the answer or the solution, let me think about it, because it's my favorite thing to do. And let's strategize and work together to come up with a solution. So when I meet people and I get to know them, I say, how can I help you? And I'm writing a blog right now on that question. I'm writing 2 different blogs, one on how can I help you, and one on who do you want to meet. And the reason I say that is because when you network with somebody, when you meet somebody, the first thing the first thing they say is, how can I help you? And how genuine is that if you don't really know the person? So to answer your question, I take the time to get to know people, find out what's going on, who might be a good connection for them, and then I help foster the relationship. I'm genuine in wanting to help them. I think that's why it comes so natural to me.
Gotcha. So, by the way, folks, if you're watching this in the live stream, I'd like to welcome you. If you have any questions for Adam, please ask away in the comments. He'd love to answer your questions. I'd love to see the questions. If not, it's okay. But if you're watching this in the replay, welcome to you as well. Most people do watch these in the replay. So hit us up with some questions. Hit Adam up with questions. He will see the questions because he's part of the post. His name's in the post. So everything will show up and he'll get to answer your questions. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Pivot. So there are no more events. We're not going out. How have you pivoted to this time of from pandemic lockdown to maybe less restrictive, but still social distancing and Zoom this and Zoom that?
Sure. So here we go. I'll give you the timeline. Found out my wife was pregnant on March 14th. COVID stuff kicked in locally around the following Monday, so about a weekend. I had just like everyone else, I had no idea what it looked like, what this was going to be, big, small, kind of like
yesterday. Yeah, a week later is when Governor Cuomo said, okay, everybody go home, everybody work from home. Yeah. That was it. Everything was canceled after that.
Yep. So the first 2 weeks for me was a little confusing because I was like, all right, I'm going to 5 to 15 events a week. A guest, I'm sponsoring them, I'm co-hosting them, and now it went to 0. Now, I'll tell you that it was difficult for me to understand being a connector and being in a world that I couldn't really connect the same way in. I was already Zooming prior to, and I will say that, 4 months later right now, I think most of us are Zoomed out. But what I think, from a pivot standpoint is I focused on, I'm a startup. I was, I was 7 months old when COVID hit. I had a book of business of 12 clients I was representing. Am I going to lose these clients? How am I going to help these clients? How am I going to do what I do? And I found, instead of doing things different or different things, how do I do the same things differently? So I have a Rolodex of a significant amount of relationships. I called them and said, hey, listen, I don't know what I can do to help you right now or how you can help me, but I think it's good to know that we're here for each other. And if you want to talk, if you need a conversation, someone to talk, please let me know I'm here. And so that's one thing that I did right away. In regards to my clients, very fortunately, I didn't lose a significant amount of business. I was able to retain a large book of my business, but I wanted to know what I could do to best serve my clients. So one of the pivots I made, not just from networking, but in my business, was to start really being there and listening and consulting and coaching and being there, as a sounding board or outsourced partner to their business. I found that was really needed. With the networking, I was part of these Zoom calls with 50 people, 100 people, and it was really tough. I started doing these little private happy hours that I liked a lot, but you're going from meeting X amount of people a week live in person, hugging people. I'm a hugger. I'm
a hugger. I know what you mean. I am such a hugger, and I'm like, I hug. When I see my friends, we hug. It's like we do hugs. That's me. I mean, I'm just a big hugger, and now I can't do that.
How did you? I mean, you doing these live? I've watched a lot of your live podcasts. Like, how have you pivoted, Mitch? Is a question I'd have for you, because you have this tool that other people don't have to really make a difference and shine. And I think you've done a great job taking advantage of that.
Look, I ask the questions around here, and I'm like, yeah. Okay, so the way I've pivoted is, fortunately, I already have a really good clientele, and it's just a very tight knit. It's just I have just lovely people in my clientele, and some of them started as friends who just happened to become clients. Just, hey, Mitch, I trust you. Let me do business with you. And some of them started as clients, and some of them are amongst my closest friends. Just great relationships. So I've always been very digital oriented. I've always, always since the advent of LinkedIn and Facebook, I jumped all over this stuff. I've blogged, I've made videos. I posted my first YouTube video in 2011. It's not like I'm new to video and audio and all these things. And it just built up over time to the point where I felt I do better on social media. I still do the palm pressing and the face-to-face things, when I can. But around October last year, something called LinkedIn Live became accessible to some people. You have to apply for it. So when I got it, I'm like, this is great, because I'm just going to kick butt on live streaming. It's going to be a great time to do this. And I started doing it weekly. And then around February, when the market was really starting to tank, we had that down 2,000 point day, oil plunge. It was just a very crazy market. I started doing pop-up videos, live streams, just for an update. And I decided, this is a great time to do them daily. And then once the lockdown came around, I was already doing them daily. And the pivot for me was that nobody had anything to do except look at their screen. So this, to me, was, for lack of a better way to put this was a great opportunity if you are internet/digital savvy. And going live was a lot easier than creating a vlog. I was vlogging a lot, like my Casey Neistat and Peter McKinnon. I love watching these guys. They're just incredible. But it takes too long. A 5-minute video takes like hours and hours to edit. And going live is just so much easier. So that was basically my pivot, to the point where I'm a known entity, and people are still looking for a new financial advisor when they're dissatisfied with their current advisor. And I want to be positioned to have that top of mind awareness to be me. So my pivot wasn't like a sudden shift for me. I was on my way to doing what I do now for years. It's just developed a little quicker in the last couple of months.
That's great. I had a great conversation with one of my clients. His name is, can I say names on here?
If you're comfortable saying a name, I'm comfortable.
Sure. One of my clients, his name is Jay Ryan. Do you know Jay?
I don't think, doesn't sound familiar.
Great guy, Harvard graduate. Went to law school, was on Wall Street for 30 years in financials. He's someone I should probably connect you with. You probably enjoy
Yeah.
meeting him. And he became an
I
entrepreneur.
was actually thinking that already.
Good. Oh, yeah, exactly. Maybe you'll even enjoy talking politics. Who knows? But Jay, he has a very unique business. He does energy efficiency. The name of his business is called Kilfinin Energy, and he goes into commercial buildings and he accesses them and sees how he can save them money and everything else. And Jay really impressed me. Jay is a master networker. He is out there. He's a hustler. He loves to do the palm to palm, like you said. I've probably gotten a couple of hugs in there by Jay too. But what I'm getting at is Jay did a great pivot. He was already in the commercial space. He already had the relationships, and he ended up partnering with a company called Blue Zap, which is a commercial disinfecting business. And one of the things that I really was impressed by with Jay was, he had a direction. He was motivated. He knew what to do. He knew he had to innovate. And that's what I think for people to survive with what's going on in these changes. It's like I'm sure Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek said that
Sure.
he needs to build a new stage for himself. He's used to talking in front of 40,000 people. Now he has to build a new stage. So Jay built a new stage, and he's now able to help business owners that have employees coming back in, and he disinfects the office, so there's UVC light and everything. But what I'm getting at is for Jay to make that pivot to say, I've been doing this for 5 years. I know that I'm not going into any commercial buildings for who knows how long. That is someone that I have a lot of respect for, that pivoted during these times into an area that can help him. And for you with the way that you pivoted with doing the LinkedIn Live, it was just needed at that time, and that's why I give you so much credit for.
Thank you.
You already had the plan, but it's great.
Yeah. I am so grateful that I became a content creator long before this happened. So I already know how to create content. Thank you. I've written probably 1,000 articles. I've do a weekly email blast. I've written for CNBC and other major media outlets. So, and I've made videos and YouTube videos, and so going live, and I stream to Facebook, to LinkedIn, and to YouTube. I may add some others to it one of these days. So, I don't even so. And this is also a great way to keep in touch with clients, because my clients watch these also. I'm connected with my clients in some form of social media. But real quick, I want to ask you. I'm very happy to see this organization come up called Movers. And I know you're very involved with it. And, a big concern on Long Island is our young people graduate college and they move, they leave us. They go to North Carolina, they're going to Portland, to, all the places they're going to have become expensive also. But people are leaving. And then we've got movers and people like yourself. You're the classical, millennial who could have left, but you stayed. So tell me about movers. That's a very interesting thing to me.
You talk about innovative, young, motivated professionals. These are some great people. Family members. They're just people that want to make a difference. And one of the philosophies that myself and my partner in another entity I have, Greg Pajak, who you might know. Greg and I, we founded an organization called Hype, which is actually I have it on the back of my phone here. So Hype is HIA's Young Professionals and Entrepreneurs. And Greg and I, we started this organization about 2 years ago to help give back to young professionals, because we want to keep them on the island. It sucks. I don't know, how old your kids are, Mitch. I don't know if they're looking to stay here. I don't know if you're looking to stay here, but what better?
I'm looking to stay.
You're looking to stay. So what better place to live? On Friday night, I went to Robert Moses Field 5 to watch the sunset and hang out with my kids. And
that's my favorite place in the world, Field 5.
Check this out. 8:15 p.m. sunset's happening, and we're like, we're looking at the water. Everyone's gathering around, and we're like, the sharks. It was a family of dolphins that were doing their little jumpy thing. It was beautiful. I went on a hike 2 weeks ago. I went, I played golf every week. Like, where else can you do that? And so I want to stay on Long Island, and these movers kind of like with what we did with Hype. Movers have their own nonprofit, and they're trying to help keep young professionals on Long Island. They're supporting them. They're helping them with their dreams. If their dream is to be a musician, if their dream is to be in business, they're just creating this support system that is a community, as I call it. I've been involved with them for about a little less than a year now. But you talk about just people that want to help and make a difference. These are extraordinary young professionals that are.
I've met them. I've met them, and I've had them to one of my networking groups, Long Island Elite, and one of them, the head of it. I don't.
Matt, there's Ryan, there's Kenzie.
Yep, yeah. And I've met Ryan and Mackenzie. They're siblings, right?
Yeah.
And Matt, he was a personal trainer at the gym I used to go to, and then I was on the phone with them just to learn about what they're doing, and he's like, "Did you go to this particular gym?" And I'm like, yes, and he knew who I was, and he's a personal trainer also, so he probably recognized me because All right.
He's like,
okay. So now we're going to do the lightning round, and then we're going to end it. The lightning round is just questions. I did not give Adam any of these questions in advance. I've just got a couple of questions. They're kind of open-ended, just quick answers. You're welcome to put thought into them. So first, let's just do this. I wish I had a sound effect for this, but I'll just do this real quick. You like that?
That was good. Needs a sound effect though.
I know. I'll do it again. All right. You want to see my favorite sound effects?
That's what she said.
I'm so immature. Okay. Lightning round begins. The word influencer. What do you think of that?
I want to be one.
Okay. We all do, don't we? I want to be a thought leader who has influence. How about that? Absolutely. Influencer. Okay. I think you already actually are one because you do influence people. You're well known. Your opinion is valued. Congratulations, my man. Influencer should not be measured on a numbers game. It's a quality, not a quantity thing. Okay. A lot of people forget that. Adam Posner?
Yes, I
on
do.
the podcast. I asked him that, and he said, "You can't call yourself one, though. That's the key. You can't call yourself that." Okay. Strangest networking situation that you can recall?
Went to an event 5 years ago at the Big Kahuna in Huntington. It was a swingers event. That's pretty funny. I have another good one too. In February 2019, I hosted a porn event that it was a networking event around the charity, the Gift of Life Bone Marrow, and everyone had to dress up like a 70s porn star, and everyone got a porn name. Mine was U Deep. And we were able to find some donors for bone marrow that night. Everyone had a good time, and it was all around the movie Boogie Nights. So that was a good one.
Dirk Diggler. When you said porn night, I thought you said corn night, and then I was like, did he say porn?
Yeah.
Night? Okay, that's actually pretty unique. Okay, all right. Top 3 people who you like to follow on LinkedIn.
I love to follow. I'm going to just give you real life people that I talk to every day. Greg Pajak. I love Greg Pajak.
We're connected. He and I are our first connections.
Greg's one of my best friends. He's a role model. He's a client. He's just someone that I have a significant amount of respect for, and I learn from every day. Robert Doyle. He's the ex-CEO of a company called CoinMac. That was a multi-billion-dollar company that he was a CEO for many years. Mm-hmm. He had a 30-year career there. Bob and I talk almost every single day. He's just someone I love having in my life. And then the third person I will say is by the name of Gary Anzalone.
You didn't say me.
Gary is someone that I built him and I just get each other. We're about 30 years apart in age. We just get each other when it comes to business development and developing relationships and really growing. And those are the 3 people I would say I follow. And they're great writers on their blogs, but those people I would say.
All right. And best, this is a tough one, but best networking, connecting advice you can give to somebody who is just getting into this whole networking thing.
Start with why. Simon Sinek. I don't
Start
go
with
up
your
to
why.
I don't go up to somebody and say, "What do you do?" I go up to somebody and say, "Tell me about yourself." I go up to someone and say, "What's going on in your world?" I say to somebody, "Can we have a conversation and not talk about business for 5 minutes?" And when you, once again, when you break that wall down and you're able to have a conversation with somebody, that is where you really build a relationship to do business. If you are talking to somebody and they have that wall up, either do a pattern interrupt to knock it down, and a pattern interrupt, I mean, do something that throws them off, like, wait, what just happened? Versus just doing the same old stage conversation that goes nowhere, and then you waste your time. And time is
I
really
usually,
valuable.
I usually start my conversations at working events like, "Hey, how are the meatballs?"
Even if they don't have meatballs, you ask how the meatballs are, and then they're like, wait, there's meatballs here?
So that's I'm actually joking. I don't start them that way. You know what I say? I say, "How are you involved with this event or organization?"
Yeah.
You know, it's an icebreaker. That's what it is. It's an icebreaker without saying, "What do you do?" Like within 3 seconds, because that's just such a turnoff. All right, and what's like I think we can answer this already, but what's like a really bad networking connecting faux pas?
I'm actually going to give you a pattern interrupt here. I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to give you another answer to a different question. I just want everyone to be aware of the word hygge. The word hygge is coming, and get excited for it. And I'll leave it at that.
Is that your new business venture?
It's something new that my partner and I have been working on that is going to cause a really nice disruption in the way that people connect and build relationships. And it's going to be a business lifestyle community that really gives back to business professionals that are genuine, good people that you want to do business with.
Okay, that's terrific. Adam, I want to thank you for your time. This was a pleasure speaking with you. We went over a lot longer than I thought, but you know, when you have a lot of interesting things to say, it makes it fun. I will end this broadcast now. I'm going to have for you the MP4 for you to download yourself tomorrow. And,
thank you very much.
I'll see you in real life soon, and I expect full well to get my hug.
I'm already giving it to you.
All right,
thank
man.
you for having me. Great to be on this. Really
My
great.
pleasure. All right. Talk to you soon, buddy. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.